What's up? What's up, y'all? Sorry about that. Sorry I was a little late. Child, we getting this cruise together. I was on the phone with somebody that's going on the cruise, and we was trying to get some things straight, honey. Get some things straight. What's going on? Happy Monday, happy Monday, happy Monday. What's up, everybody? Yes, yes, yes. I'm so excited. Y'all know I've never done a virgin cruise before. I'm a virgin to the virgin cruise, so I'm excited about that. So yes. Let's go. What's up, y'all? Hey, Powerful. What's up, Chuck? Let me go ahead and get into the things of the things. So, it's the Real Housewives of Rhode Island. Listen, it wasn't a whole lot going on with celebrity news other than the rumor about Nicki Minaj and her husband, child, but we'll talk about that later. But let's go ahead and get into these housewives because y'all know Rhode Island always got something going on. So, anyway, the episode starts off. We have Alicia, Liz, and Joelyn hanging out by the pool. Baby, they got to get Joelyn caught up. Y'all know last week, Joelyn was on a business trip, and so she missed a lot of the festivities from last week's episode. So, they had to get her poolside and get her caught up on all the things that went down. We found out that her grandfather has passed away. He was 100 years old, and she said that, she was really close to her grandfather, that he sort of stepped in when her own father passed away. He walked her down the aisle and things like that. And so we're sorry, of course, I'm sure this is months and months old, but, we're sorry to hear that. But glad that you had a wonderful life, with him. And it's never easy, no matter how old they are. It's always a loss. So sorry to hear that. Rosie she's having an outing with her two friends, Jack and Mark, I believe his name is, or Anthony, I don't know. I have a question though. Did y'all catch when Rosie was saying that these are her gay friends and well, I'm gay too and da-da-da-da? Was she saying like she really identifies in the lifestyle, or was she saying like I got a lot of gay friends, so I'm gay? Like, did y'all peep that? Tell me what y'all thought she was saying, because maybe I misunderstood her. Maybe I'm putting 20 on 10, but whatever, child, whatever. So anyway, back over to Liz, Joelyn, and Alicia. They gave her the breakdown on what happened at the rail event, and they talked about how Rosie is messy and how her and Rosie kind of got into it. Alicia and Rosie kind of got into it, and I thought it was real interesting, Miss Joelyn, that you were like, "Would anybody bring me up? Did anybody talk about me? Did my name came up?" Girl, the world does not revolve around you. You thought Rosie was just calling herself a hag. Yeah, that's what I thought too, but I wasn't sure. But I thought that's what she was saying too. Joelyn, the world does not revolve around you. And I thought that was very interesting in that moment, that you wanted to find out who was talking about you, if anybody was talking about you, what was said about you. Girl, nobody even thought about you. Joelyn, you need to stop worrying about who was talking about you down to the railroad situation, and you need to be worried about what your sister doing over there with your husband. That's what you need to be worried about. You need to go over there and find out what your sister had going on while you was out of town with your husband, because baby, your sister smelled your husband's dirty drawers. I'm just saying, that is not normal. I'm just saying, that's what you need. You so worried about what Rula got going on and what Rula husband doing. You need to be paying attention to your sister and him. That's where your focus needs to be. But we're going to get to that. We're going to get more into you being all in Rula's business. So Alicia cracked me up because Alicia talking about once you cross me, I can hold a grudge. And once you cross me, once you do me dirty, I'm done with you. I'm done with you. Girl, you made up with Rosie in 0.3 seconds. You cussed Rosie out. You did your dramatic walk off, and 2 seconds later y'all was hugging. Girl, Alicia, nobody believes you. You are a chihuahua. You look like a little chihuahua. You are all bark and no damn bite. All that. Welcome to Rhode Island, bitch. And then 5 minutes later, y'all hugging. Girl, bye. Go sit down, Alicia. Go sit down, Alicia. Right, and Liz let her know too. Liz was like, girl, what you talking about? Y'all made up in like 2.3 seconds. Like, what's up, Miss Oh Say What? Oh Say What? What up, JB? Hey, boo. Now, Rosie, what is wrong with you? How could you be like, I don't know why these girls don't like me. It seems like every time I say something, it's always a problem. It's always drama. Because you were always a bone carrier. Let me tell you something. Every show needs a bone carrier. We got it. We know that when it comes to reality TV, there are certain positions. We know that somebody has to be the villain. Somebody's got to be the bone carrier. We got it. But the one thing I'm going to say is, if you're going to be the bone carrier, I'm going to need you to stand in your bone carrierness. Ashley, as much as she irritates our soul, Ashley stands in her shit. Ashley is a proud bone carrier. She is a proud pot stirrer. Okay? Whitney, over to the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, proud bone carrier shit stirrer, okay? Sheree, the reason why they kept bringing Sheree ass back down to the Real Housewives of Atlanta is because Sheree was a great bone carrier shit stirrer. And they was proud about their work. They stood in their shit. Don't be sitting here crying. Acting like you don't know why these girls have an issue with you. On the very first episode, you was talking about Kelsey being in this throuple situation. And let's be clear, Kelsey, you do have some crazy shit going on. And to be fair, Rosie, I ain't mad at you for questioning it, because Kelsey, what the hell you got going on? We're gonna get to you in a second. And then in the second episode, you and Joelyn, or was it you and Child? Anyway, you and Joelyn got this beef going on. Like, Rosie, you're messy. And then come to find out, you allegedly got fired from your job because allegedly you were sleeping with your boss. Allegedly. Girl, you messy. But I'm gonna need you to just stand in it. Be okay. Right. Angie Oakley has picked up the mantle. She's the good bone carrier. And listen, you just gotta know your role and stand in it and just be proud about it. Now, Rosie, I am more convinced than ever that your boyfriend gave you this show as his parting gift to you. Sorry, y'all. Very a la Kelsey Grammer when he gave Camille Grammer the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills as his parting gift to her. I am more convinced than ever. You said that you got this whole salon inside of this house. Now, you ain't worked in 10 years since you've been with this man. But now, all of a sudden, you doing hair out of the salon that he renovated for you in the house so you could do people's hair from your house. And they said that what Rosie said was that you just got your license to do hair recently, that this is something new. And you're doing Ashley's hair, and basically you're doing Ashley's hair for free so that she'll post you on her social media, because Ashley is a content creator. She is a influencer and gets paid money to do that. So you doing a little bit of quid pro quo, and come to find out you mad at Rosie because you did Rosie's hair and Rosie didn't post you. Girl, you sound real desperate right now. You sound like you really need some money and you really need a job because you feel like the walls are closing in on you. That's what it sounds like to me. Because why are you so pressed about... Listen, I feel like Ashley's social media footprint is bigger than Rosie's social media footprint. I mean, I know she's a former Miss Rhode Island and all of that, yada, yada, yada. But I feel like the footprint is bigger. Ashley posted you. She took pictures. She tagged you. She did all of the things. Girl, why are you so worried about what Rosie did? Well, she posts everybody, and I shouldn't have to. And then I'm with Ashley. Girl, did you ask her? Well, I shouldn't have to ask her. Why not? You need something from her. She don't need nothing from you. If you want her to tag your products and post you, tag what you did and post it, that is what you should have fucking said. You can't listen. Y'all gonna stop with this assumptions that somebody's supposed to know. How people supposed to just read your mind? Somebody's supposed to just read your mind and know? Did you ask her to tag you? Now you run around and you got a whole attitude. And I like Ashley. I love how Ashley handled it. Ashley was like, well, girl, I don't really think it's that big of a deal, but why don't you just ask her about it when you see her? Like, don't bring me in this shit. That's my friend. Don't try to put me in the middle of it. Don't do that to me. I ain't got nothing to do with that. And then she was trying to talk a little bit of shit about Rosie too. And Ashley was like, really? No, Rosie, that's my girl. And I understand why Ashley was walking like that tightrope because, you filming the show, you're the new girl, you're really not a Rhode Islander, you're an outsider. And so you ain't trying to really piss the other side off, but you still remaining, you got your friends back. Like, I feel like that was appropriate. I feel like you had your friends back because you were like, no, she's cool. I don't have no issues with her. Ain't no problems over here. But on the flip side of it, staying loyal to your friend, that is why I feel what Rosie was saying when she said I would have done it if you had asked. Yeah. And I think she would have too. If you had just said, hey, I'm trying to get me, get my following up. I'm trying to get me some clients. Do you mind posting it? Like, I know that, you have a high profile. You're on social media, former Miss Rhode Island, all of the things, right? No, I'm sorry. Kelsey's a former Miss Rhode Island. Rosie was on the news. You got a whole little, like, ask her. And if you had asked her to do it and then she didn't do it, that would be one thing. So the ladies go on this boat situation. I'm gonna be honest. I guess it was just a ride around the bay, I guess. They were just on a boat, riding around the bay. I didn't see anything spectacular about what we witnessed. They was drinking. But it was Mark's birthday, so the ladies got together. JB said Kelsey was doing too much for me. Yeah, Kelsey was doing a lot. She wanted to be high profile and think people were supposed to just do right. Listen, you gotta ask, and it's okay to ask. It's okay to say, "Hey, do you mind? Let's take a few pictures. Do you mind posting that for me? Like, I'm really trying to get some clientele." Because at the end of the day, most people, especially in those businesses, makeup artists, nail techs, all of that, most people start at zero. Like, generally, your first clients are friends and family. You have to build a reputation. You have to build an audience. You have to build a clientele. And thank God in today's day and age, we do have the luxury of social media. A lot of people didn't have that back in the day. You left out of beauty school and you might have picked up a few clients that came through to get their hair done down to the beauty school. But for the most part, you started off, you had to put out flyers and all, you know what I mean? Baby, girl, you better use it. And then she said, well, I've been doing makeup and hair for years. Then you should have a clientele. But anyway, so the people are down to the boat, and Rosie and Kelsey get into the argument. And again, basically Kelsey was like, girl, really? Like, because Kelsey was having a conversation. Rosie was having a conversation with Ashley about, feeling like she doesn't really fit in with the girls, always feeling like, that it's always an argument, that the girls don't really like her that much. And so Rula comes over and she was like, is this a private conversation? And she was like, no, we were just kind of talking about, the girls and her getting to know the girl. Was it Liz Child? One of the ladies came over there. And so they were kind of talking. And then here come Kelsey talking about, well, you don't really, you don't, basically, you're not really a girl's girl because I asked you to, because I did your hair and you didn't even post me. You post everybody else and you tag all these other people. You post all your other, your makeup artist, your nail tech. You didn't even post me. Rosie was like, girl, what? And honestly, like I said, I'm kind of with, Rosie is messy and Rosie's a lot of things, but on this one, I'm kind of with Rosie. Girl, what you mad about? And why didn't you say something? So you just been holding on to this? How long ago did you do my hair? You've been holding on to this? That's what you've been mad about? And poor Mark was like, look, I don't want no drama on my birthday or whatever his name is, Mark, Anthony, Tony, whatever the man name is. I don't want any drama on my birthday. Like, I'm just here to have a good time. I mean, yes, I know we was going to be filming. I get it. It's a reality show because they said that other guy, Mark, he was on the Real Housewives of New York, child. So he ain't new to this. He true to this. And then I think it was Joelyn and Liz. They went off to kind of do their own thing because they were like, child, we don't want no parts of this drama. We just gonna go over here. We're gonna pretend like we doing the whole Titanic thing. I'm the king of the world. Right, Kelsey, you really mad at that man that told you to get out his house. You really mad at that man that got you on a timer. You were on the clock. Girl. Now I do feel like Rosie isn't a girl's girl because of the relationship she has with her mom. I thought that was Joelyn that had the bad relationship with her mom. I don't remember Rosie talking about the relationship with her mom. Did I miss that? What did Rosie say about her relationship with her mom? I must have missed it. I must have missed that. I know Joelyn talked about her relationship with her mom not being great. But honestly, that was pretty much really it, y'all. It wasn't really too much more going down than the two of them arguing, child. So next, we have the sit-down conversation between Rula and Joelyn. And they meet up at the bar and they're very pleasant with each other, which I can appreciate. Child, because y'all know it's a new show and I be trying to remember all these people's names. I'm just getting the women's names right. And then you're going to add two men that don't have nothing to do with the show. I don't know these people. I'm trying though. I'm really trying. So Rula and Joelyn, they meet up to the bar and they're sitting down and they're having this conversation. That's why she doesn't want kids. That must not have stuck with me because I don't remember that. I believe you though. I believe you, Miss O say what? I believe you. But I think that's why it didn't stick with me. Because that didn't stick with me. But I believe you though. I believe you though. Hold on, before we get to Joelyn and Rula, I'm sorry. There was this scene. It was sort of a throwaway scene, but then it kind of wasn't a throwaway scene with Liz and Jerry. They done sold the boat, so they're having their last little sunset on the boat. Now, let me tell y'all something. On one hand, I understand where Liz is coming from, that the man will go away for weeks at a time. And like she said, like out of nowhere, he bought this boat and he got into this like championship fishing situation and he didn't know nothing about it, but then he became like really, really, really good at it. On one hand, I kind of understand, like, she felt abandoned and he like out of nowhere just took off and was be gone for, weeks and months at a time. But did you see some of them checks? Baby, this man was winning $500,000. He was winning $200,000 checks. Now, I don't know what he finally took home after he had to pay the people and he had to, pay what he needed to pay. But this man was winning like, he had a $500,000 check. He had a couple of $200,000 checks. I might have had to forgive him. Baby, when I saw that, I said, wait a minute. Baby, I might have to listen. You bringing home $200,000 checks after being gone for 2 months. I don't know. I might have to forgive you. He had a race with Michael Jordan and won. Right. Baby, we might have to do some stuff to keep the marriage frisky. I might have to. She said they used to damn near live in the Bahamas on the boat. See, that's the kind of shit that I would have to do. Be like, okay, so you're gonna be fishing. All right, I'm gonna fly down there. We're gonna have a little rendezvous down to the hotel, honey. I'm gonna get a room. I'm gonna send you the room number, and I'll be waiting when you get there. I mean, listen, and then give me that check, and I'm gonna go to Louis, and I'll meet you back home. Y'all been married. Y'all been together for over 10 years, girl. I don't know. I saw that $500,000 check. I said, I'm sorry, what? But I already told y'all last week, I think it's more to him all of a sudden quitting and selling that boat out of nowhere. I think it's more to it, but that could be me. I might be putting 20 on 10, whatever. But moving right along. Rula and Joelyn, they down to the bar. Let me say this. Joelyn, she explained, and we already kind of came to this conclusion. She know this woman. And that's why she was already following this woman's Instagram when she posted the pictures of her and Brian on her Instagram, which is why she saw it, because they're already friends. She said their kids went to daycare together, and she know this woman, and they run in the same circles, which is why she had these. The woman had sent her the text messages between her and Brian and all this other stuff. Let me say something. And it's funny because somebody posted this on my comment under my video from the other day when we were talking about, what were we talking about? It wasn't Meg Thee Stallion. What were we talking about? I don't remember. But let me say this. Baby, I can't be madder than you. I can't be more mad than you are about your marriage. You done went down there, Joelyn. Listen, Joelyn, you did your best. You can't do nothing more. Let it go. Girl, let it go. Now I understand why Rula is upset with you. I'm not saying you wrong, Joelyn, but Rula is upset with you because Rula is not ready to let it go. And you keep throwing shit in her face, like facts. And she don't want to hear it. This woman said Rula gonna look at them text messages and say, I don't know if those are real. Those could be AI. Do you even know if that's his phone number? Joelyn don't know if that's his phone number, but you do. That's your fucking husband. You know if that's his phone number. What do you mean? And then she's going to say, well, I know that she has been known to falsify text messages. Now, let's be clear. I don't know nothing about this woman. She does sound like she's in love with your husband and she wants your husband. She has certainly forgotten her role as the mistress side chick. I get that. However, why would she need to create AI text messages when she legit had an affair with your husband? She has real text messages. And I understand she was trying to say, well, he said the affair is over and the dates on these are different. Girl, you know your husband. You know how he texts. You know how he types. Like one thing about text messaging, we all have a text language. You know how he texts. Like for me, when I text, people who text with me regularly know when I text in short sentences. I very rarely send a long paragraph. I'll write out a sentence, send, type out a sentence, send, and I do a whole lot of dots. I don't do it on purpose. It's just how I text. I don't know why. I had an ex-boyfriend one time. It used to irritate him. He'd be like, you don't even give me time to read the first message before you send the second one. And I was like, because I don't know why. I feel like when I get to the end of a thought, I got to hit send. I don't send long paragraphs. I just don't when I text. I very seldom do. And if I do have a lot to say, and anybody that has talked to me, if I have a lot to say, I'll send a voice note. Now, I'm the queen of a voice note. Because y'all know I'm long-winded. Y'all know I'm long-winded. I'm the queen of a voice note. If I think what I got to say is going to be longer than 2 or 3 sentences, baby, I'm sending you a voice note. Now, the voice note might be 2 minutes long. JB will tell you, JB, no, I'm going to send a short boop, boop, boop. And if I got something more to say, baby, I'll send a good old voice note. Everybody has a way that they type with their texting. You know how that man texts. You know if the messages are real or not. And let's be clear. Let's be clear. At this point, it doesn't fucking matter. This man cheated on you. Clearly, he cheated on you for an extended period of time. Listen, this man opened up a business with this woman. He is literally suing her right now for breach of contract. He opened up a business with this woman. This was not we met down to the script club. I put some money in her G-string, woke up the next morning and regretted it. No, ma'am. No, ma'am, Pam. This man invested money in this woman. So, Joelyn, I understand that you don't want her out here looking like a fool. I understand that you don't want her on TV looking dumb. But the minute you showed that woman them text messages and Rula took that phone and she scrolled, and then she said, well, how do I know these are real? That'd have been the end of the conversation for me. I'd have said, you know what, girl, you right. You don't know. You don't even know. And I'd have been done with it. And if and when the shit hit the fan, don't come to me and say what I did not do. Don't come to me and say what I did not do. Baby, I tried. And I'm done with it. Now, Rula said her issue with Joelyn is that it wasn't that Joelyn told her, because she said on Watch What Happens Live, I'm probably gonna add some stuff from Watch What Happens Live because Rula was on Watch What Happens Live last night. She said that her issue with Joelyn was that it wasn't that she was just telling her. She said, I appreciated her letting me know what was going on. I appreciated that. The problem I had was that she wasn't just telling me, she was telling everybody else. She was telling the hairdresser. She was telling the people down to the daycare. She was telling, the people at the church. She was telling everybody. Well, listen, it's gossip. And I'm not saying that makes it okay, but if y'all ain't best friends, if y'all are not close friends, I mean, and again, the woman posted it on her social media. Joelyn didn't tell no lie. Joelyn did not break any girl code. This shit was on social media. So yeah, she had conversations with people, and she probably put 20 on 10 because she does know this woman, and she probably did see text messages, and she probably did know more. But let's be clear, the mistress put it on social media. I guess were those pictures AI too, Rula? That woman sitting in your husband's lap. Was that AI? And your husband was smiling like he didn't know he was married. Your husband posed in that picture. That picture wasn't him going, no, don't do that. That picture wasn't him sleep. He was like, he posed for that picture with the mistress. I'm sorry. Baby, listen, I'm done with it. Girl, you know what? Go on out there, baby. Peace be with you. And I wouldn't say another word, at least not to Rula. I ain't saying I would stop gossiping about it because I probably wouldn't. But I wouldn't say nothing else to Rula. I'd be done with it. And that was that Rula's husband at the Coldplay concert, child. So they're going down to Polo. Polo's a big thing in Rhode Island, so the ladies are going to the Polo match. Alicia put the whole thing together. They're meeting up at her husband's restaurant, and then they're going to take they're going to take a little sprinter down to the Polo thing, and the ladies are showing up. You know, everybody's showing up with their husbands and stuff, and Rula shows up with the husband. Now, let me say this, and I know y'all gonna be like, really, B, you just got finished saying yada, yada, yada. I know what I just got finished saying. Y'all just listen to me. Y'all just listen to me for a second. Now, I know what just got finished saying. But now, part two of this, because two things can be true at the same time. Two things can be true at the same time. Part two of this whole situation, ladies and gentlemen, I do not believe. I believe that Joelyn was putting on a real good act. I do not believe. Let me start over. Okay. Everybody met down to the restaurant, and just as they were getting ready to leave, Brian gets a message from his dad. They got to take their mom to the emergency room. They leave and they say, hey, we're going to, we got to check on his mom, see what's going on with his mom, and then we'll meet you guys down there. So they leave. Now, Kawinka Dinkily, they get on the sprinter, and this is Joelyn. Joelyn goes, oh. And so of course everybody's like, girl, what you looking at? What's going on? What? She said, well, I mean, the girl posted. The girl just posted. I don't believe that. I believe that was a setup. I believe that Joelyn, absolutely, I believe that was some shit that Joelyn set up with the mistress to try to embarrass Joelyn and Brian at that event. I absolutely believe that. Do I believe that they legitimately had to leave for a medical situation? I do. Do I believe that they came back around so they could finish filming? Because again, we talk about this all the time. It's a job. They're getting paid. So I do believe that they showed up to finish filming. That was some bullshit. That woman posted a picture talking about, oh, the mistress, she just sent me, I'm reading the text messages now. Brian is trying to leave. He wants to go spend the day with her. So wait a minute. This is what you want me to believe. And when I was watching the episode, I was thinking this. On Watch What Happens Live, they basically address it. But even when I was watching the episode, this is what I was thinking. I was thinking, so you want me to believe that while the cameras are rolling, he pretends that his mother is having a medical emergency. They leave. He drops Rula off at the house, and he goes to the mistress's house. And then he comes back home to show back up at the Polo. I did not believe it then, and I do not believe it now. Do I think that Brian was still messing with that woman? Yes, I absolutely believe that Brian was still sleeping with that woman when they were filming. Do I believe that he left that day to go sleep with that woman and come back? I absolutely do not believe that. I believe that Joelyn was trying to create a moment. I believe Joelyn was trying to put Brian on the spot and try to embarrass them and try to put 20 on 10 and make Rula make a decision. That is what I believe. Joelyn gave a believable timeline. Why not take Rula to see the mom? I don't think it was a believable timeline. I mean, here's the thing. And this is what I'm going to say. We don't know the full scope of the situation. We don't know if Rula and his mama even get along. Maybe he dropped her off at the house because maybe he was like, look, you stay here with the kids. I'm sure they had a babysitter because they were supposed to be going to Polo, whatever. You stay here with the kids. Let me go see what's going on. If it's really, really bad, I'm going to stay at the hospital. If not, I'm going to come back and scoop you up and we're going to head on down to the Polo Lounge. Maybe Rula didn't want to go. Everybody don't want to sit in the waiting room down to the hospital or the urgent care. I'm sorry. I'm just going to call a thing a thing. It is a lot of assumptions, but it's also a lot of assumptions that this timeline, I don't believe it. And I'm going to tell you another reason why I don't believe it. Because on Watch What Happens Live, and I know I didn't know this till after the episode, but on Watch What Happens Live, Brian was like, those pictures were old pictures. He said, those pictures showed the interior of my Porsche. As you can see, when we were filming, I was driving my Hummer. My Hummer has black interior. My Porsche has the red interior. That wasn't even the same car I was driving that day. So now you want me to, so on top of, you want me to believe that you want me to believe he dropped the wife off at home, left the Hummer, got in the Porsche, took the Porsche to the hospital, and instead of going to the hospital, went to go see the mistress, slept with her, gave her a quick 1-2, came back home, picked up the wife, left the Porsche, got back in the Hummer, took the Hummer an hour down the road to the Polo lounge for why? You know the cameras are rolling the entire time. Why would I just don't? I mean, and I know that arrogance is one thing. I know some people be like, well, you know, when you arrogant, you don't care. I get all of that. But that just seemed like a whole lot to do when he could just film the scene and then drop Rula ass off and go spend the rest of the day with the mistress if that's what he wanted to do. It just seemed crazy to me to do all of that. And I'm not saying it's impossible. It just, I don't know. It just seemed crazy to me. Hold on. I have a super chat. Thank you, Atalia. Atalia said, I don't think it was pretend about his mama, nor do I think he went to see that lady, but I think he was talking to her that day. Yeah, I believe he was still sleeping with that woman. Let's be clear now. I believe Brian was still sleeping with that woman, but I do not believe that Brian drove to film, went to the restaurant, started off the day at the restaurant, then faked a call from his dad that his mom was sick, left filming, dropped his wife off, went to the emergency room, made sure his mom was okay, went back, went to see the mistress. Because let's be clear, Rula, and I know we know that Rula is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. We got that. But that means that Rula had to go along with the whole thing too. Probably old pics. Joelyn is too excited to see the pics, but mistress said he saw her nor they had sex. Wait a minute. Probably old pics. Joelyn was too excited to see the pics, but mistress said he saw her, not they had sex. No, remember Joelyn said that the messages he was trying to ditch, he wanted to ditch Rula. He was trying to ditch her that day and spend the day with her. So again, it don't even have to be sex, but again, then that's all. Listen, I hear what y'all are saying, but that's all the more reason why that was stupid for him to do it. Again, arrogance is a mother. I'm not saying it's out of the realm of possibility, because we know when people are arrogant, they do all kinds of crazy shit. But that's all the more reason why it was stupid. Because if you didn't go over there to get no sex, then it wasn't even worth risking that. Again, the cameras are rolling the entire time. You know the cameras are there. Like I said, everybody believe what they want. I don't believe that story. That's just me. Again, do I believe that Brian was still sleeping with the mistress? Absolutely. Absolutely, I believe that Brian was still sleeping with the mistress. Hell, I think Brian's still sleeping with her now. I absolutely believe that Brian was still sleeping with the mistress. I just don't believe this. But that's just me. Child, they saying Rosie lying about her house, honey. They said that she lying about this house renovation because, again, they hating on Rosie. I don't know if she lying or not, child. I understand what you're saying, but you can't put nothing past a cheater. You right. I can't put nothing. Y'all. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I just don't believe it. Now, it could be true. I'm just saying, I personally just don't believe it. That's just like on Watch What Happens Live. I'm gonna just give y'all an example. On Watch What Happens Live, the mistress told Joelyn that Brian spent Rula's birthday with her. She was like, Brian was with me on Rula's birthday. He ditched Rula on her birthday and spent Rula's birthday with me. He was with me. Rula was like, and then I had to show Joelyn pictures where me and him were together the entire weekend. We weren't even in town. We left the state of Rhode Island and we were in a whole different place, and we spent the whole weekend together of my birthday. So the mistress does lie, and the mistress does lie to Joelyn. Again, I think they all living in cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs land. Let's be clear. I think they're all living in cuckoo land, but it's lying going on all sides, right? That's what I'm saying. She need to keep an eye on her own sister. Joella, you got other stuff that you need to be paying attention to. But anyway, so we're down to the polo match. The people are enjoying themselves. Brian and Rula show back up. And now, because they done seen these pictures, and because the mistress said that Brian's trying to ditch Rula and he wants to spend the day with me, yada, yada, yada. Now you got the whole cast in Rula and Brian's business, showing the pictures, pulling her to the side, talking about, I just want you to know, because Brian this and Brian that. And they brought up the man's wedding ring. Hello? Hey. Excuse me. The mistress know he married. Why would he need to take his wedding ring off? Why is that a big deal? Him having his wedding ring on is not a big deal. The mistress know he married. And he literally walked over to the car and was like, oh, I took my ring off because I was putting gel in my hair. He literally walked over to the car and put the ring back on. He had it with him. Y'all really think that the mistress that... So they come back over there, and now they're getting in Brian's face. And I don't mean no harm. I feel like that was way too much. I feel like y'all crossed some lines. Again, you can lead the horse to water, but you can't make that horse drink. You can lead a horse to water. Y'all can give Rula all the pictures, text messages. Joelyn, the woman that I already told you is AI. The woman that I already told you that she doesn't believe any text messages and she don't believe any pictures. Why are you still bothering with it? She's not going to leave this man until she's ready to leave this man. And the fact that they are still together, the fact that this man showed up last night on Watch What Happens Live, it should let you know she's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. They she done got that man arrested. That man done put a tracker on her car. They got all kinds of shit going on. But they still showed up down to Watch What Happens Live last night, hand in hand, honey. Andy said he even gave him the option of not having to sit in the audience. He was going to let him just stay in the green room and not even have to face the audience. And Brian was like, nah, I'm good. I'll answer your questions. Right. I think Rula is just like, look, I'm gonna let that man cheat in peace because I like my lifestyle. I have this nice lifestyle. I got these children I'm taking care of, and we're gonna do what we do. And here y'all are trying to embarrass this man on camera. This man said, we're not doing this on camera. Absolutely not. And that's the second time he done moved away from the cameras and left. And I feel like that's what Brian gonna do this whole season. I feel like whenever they try to make an issue out of this baby, I feel like Brian gonna be like, deuces. And again, his thing is, we ain't talking about this on camera. I did what I did. I had an affair. I made a mistake. I love my wife. Boom. That's it. And again, I said, do I believe that this man is cheating on Rula? I do. I mean, hell, he just filed the police report. He just filed that police report what was that? 2 weeks ago for breach of contract. He had a whole business with this woman. This man is clearly in deep with the mistress. I don't deny that. And again, I could be wrong, and y'all know I don't have no problem coming down here saying, y'all, I was wrong. That man did drop his wife off and slid off to see his mistress, and he came back. That's crazy as hell. But I'll admit it. I'll say, yeah, that man, damn, he did it. He did it. He did that shit. I don't have no problem admitting that. But I personally just feel like, it's a lot. They may have an open relationship. Either way, Joelyn needs to let it go and worry about her sister and her husband after all she did steal him from her. That's what I'm saying. That's what she need to go worry about. She need to go worry about that, baby. That's what she need to go worry about. She need to go worry about that sister. I will say this, though. Joelyn, stop. This the last, and I know it's not going to be, but I really want this to be the last time that Joelyn tries to have this intervention with Rula. Baby, she don't want to hear it. After that woman said it's AI and she be faking text messages, baby, I would have been done after that. I'd have been like, okay then. But I ain't about to sit here and argue with you. I ain't about to sit here and argue with you. Baby, if you say it's AI, it's AI. If you say that them text messages are fake, baby, them text messages are fake. You right. You are right, girl. You want to go shopping? They having a sale down to the Saks. You want to go get some stuff? Baby, I'll be done with it. I can't care more than you do. I can't care more than you do. That's it, and that is all. Anyway, that was pretty much the episode. Tonight, we will be on Watch. Lord, I was going to say we'll be on Watch What Happens Live. No, we won't. We'll be on the Whether You Like It or Not panel at 8:30-ish. We're going to be at JoJo's house, so meet us over there. I will share it on my community wall if you are not subscribed to JoJo. And we will see y'all to talk about last night's episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I'll talk to y'all later. Mwah. Peace.